In blues, there are things called turnarounds. That some of the most famous ones would be, or you normally start out with it, or go back to the beginning of the song with it. There is a song that I know in particular that uses it. It is American Woman by The Who. If this sounds familiar, you probably know it. That is using the basic turnaround. Here's how you play it. This first one is probably the most famous one used in blues. Take your second finger, put it on the 3rd string in the 9th fret, and your 3rd finger on the 1st string in the 9th fret. You play the 3rd string, 1st string, 3rd string, so like this. You slide it down to the 8th fret and do the same thing. 7th fret. Instead of just going down and playing this, you can tell that this 1st string is too sharp. So you move from the 7th fret, you move your 3rd finger, your 2nd finger, down to the 6th fret on the 3rd string, and then you take your 1st finger and put it on the 5th fret in the 1st string. So all together it just sounds like. And you don't, you play 3rd string, 1st string, 3rd string, 3rd string, 1st string, 3rd string. You do that the same until you get to the 7th. But then when you get down to the 6th and 5th fret, you're playing both at the same time. So like this. This other one is played using the same stroke, except for you only have the 2nd and 1st string. Put your 1st finger on the 2nd fret on the 2nd string, and your 3rd finger on the 1st string in the 5th fret. And you play it the same as you did before. 2nd string, 1st string, 2nd string. Instead of sliding down, you slide your 1st finger up to the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Play it again. Then instead of sliding your 1st finger up again, you can do that, but I think it's a little bit harder. Take your 2nd finger, put it on the 2nd string in the 4th fret. Then you move your 2nd finger on the 2nd string to the 5th fret, and your 3rd finger stays on the 1st string in the 5th fret through the whole procession. And you play it at the same time. So it should sound something like this. So the 2 turnarounds that I've showed you in this video is and those are the 2 most common ones used in blues. You might say sounds like there's something else after that. There is. You play this little chord right here. You can play it as a bar chord, but personally I think if you only play these 3 strings, it's fine if you don't use a bar. The bar chord, the correct way to play it, you bar across the 7th fret, you take your 2nd finger, you put it on the 6th string on the 8th fret, and your 3rd finger on the 3rd string in the 8th fret. And slide down 1 fret to the 6th and 7th. So if you're going to play the 2nd turnaround that I showed you, then you start on the blues, the actual part. Or you can play it with the other turnaround. Then in a previous video I showed you basic blues. And I showed you you're going to use that same method. It sounds better if you use that method with these turnarounds than playing like this. Mix it up. The nice thing about blues is that once you learn all the ways to play it, you can basically sit down and write your own song in 5 minutes. So you play the turnaround, play the little chord, come down to the second, to the 5th and the 4th string, and play that. So all together you have turnaround, chord, in the last video I showed you to do this. There's another way to do it. If you're playing with the turnarounds and you're actually playing the whole song, and you're going to be making up all these complex things to do, one thing you can do after you do, come up to here, bar across the 7th fret, put your little finger on the 2nd string on the 9th fret, and your 4th finger on the 4th string in the 9th fret. Slide down to the 5th fret, bar across the 5th fret, and put your fingers on the 7th fret. So it should sound something like this. And something I normally do when I'm playing, play 4th string, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And back. So all together we have turnaround, chord, back, and this is how I normally play it. Just when I'm sitting down, I'm just playing blues. I normally do this. Play the turnaround 4 more times. Then play that original that I showed you. And if you don't know, this is what's called the penantonic scale. Like that. You're basically moving up the neck. Play the 6th string with your finger on the 5th fret, and put your 3rd finger on the 7th fret, and do that until you get to the 2nd string. Then you move up and play the 6th fret and the 8th fret. Then when you get to the 1st string, play the 5th fret and the 8th fret. So something like this. This is a little trick that I have with it. It's not really a song. So normally I'll do that original. Then it's back to the original turnaround. And this is how I normally end it. It's a little thing that I just made up. That's normally how I end it. That's the video on on blues methods number 1. I will put up more videos on more blues and more songs. View, rate, comment, enjoy.